Welcome, everyone. This is the BumCast. I am your host, HBIC, the head bum in charge, along with the legendary band Kiss and
That's right, baby.
our special guest, Mr. Bob Pants.
What's up, Scrubs?
Look at the smile on this motherfucker's face. Look at that smile. God
Kiss
damn.
isn't even from Detroit, though.
I know that's what I was telling him. Was why did we even pick this? Like they just have a song, Detroit Rock City.
Yeah, they have a song, Detroit Rock City. I don't know where they're from, but yeah, they're not from Detroit. They're from New York. Yeah. And what you guys could have easily just wore hoodies and Little Mom Spaghetti on the front, and you could have done Eminem, which the White Sox ironically play in their opening song, as you losers know. And I'm like, White Sox fans playing Eminem in their opening. You guys could have done that. You could have done a Late Mile, but no, you went Kiss. But the costumes. This is chef's kiss.
You don't want to see his whole face. We don't want to deal with him any more than we have to.
So, okay, let's talk the elephant in the room here. Peter and Johnny, they are dressed up as Kiss. Peter made a bet with Bob about for the Bears and the Lions. Whoever had the most wins had to, or lost. Whoever's team didn't have the most wins had to lost a bet and had to. Peter, you made the bet.
I did. Yeah, I mean, we have a friendly rivalry with Bob. I appreciate his friendship, and we go back and forth on Chicago and Detroit sports all the time. Mm-hmm. I thought we were doing good for a while. We had like a 3-win lead on you in the beginning of the season, and everything went downhill. But yes, I made the bet. Johnny immediately said yes. And if I'm not mistaken, our good friend Joey P also said he would do it. I don't know how he's getting out of this. I actually probably because I forgot. But Joey P was supposed to do it. And yeah, dude, I thought the Lions were going to be they were surprisingly good at the end of the season. I actually wanted to ask you about your thoughts on the head coach, because when Hard Knocks came out, I really thought he was one of these meathead. They're not going to play for him. He's rah, let's get physical. But like that gets old quickly, especially on a losing team. But he figured out a way to motivate these guys. And then my second question was about Jared Goff and if he is your future or not, because you guys have an interesting decision to make this upcoming draft.
Yeah, so I guess we can start with Campbell. It's hard not to like him. And, everyone always goes to the kneecaps and the sound bites, and he does. Oh, there we go. Everyone always goes to that first, and I think it's cheap, it's easy. I have issues with him just in terms of his in-game management. I think we would have made the playoffs had it not been for some really bad game management inside of 2 minutes with half times and end of game. He just makes some really weird strategic moves that drive me nuts. And there was, we started 1-6 and I was really frustrated. And, like you said, it's you can only, do the down ups and run through the line and all the cliches. And, it's going to fall on deaf ears. But he's really assembled and he's assembled a really strong group of coaches. And if you watch Hard Knocks, you saw it's the whole former players. And it's a team that really had no identity and culture. And so, I think his supporting staff, I think Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, really started to find his own. And I also think it's one of the more likable Lions teams in my lifetime. I mean, like we've always had some likable players, whether it was like Calvin or Barry or things like that, but it was never like a likable unit as a group. And so, it's been really cool to watch guys like Amon-Ra come in, and you've got, Aiden and I think Jamal Williams has been a really big lift for our culture and things like that. So, you got to give Dan Campbell a lot of credit for what he's doing with the locker room, because Patricia just was like scorched earth. He was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he was a
I like Dan Campbell. Would I rather have Kyle Shanahan? Like, absolutely. But I'll take what I can get,
All right, so that's a good 4 minutes on the Lions. That's probably as much Lions as we're gonna talk about ever.
I gotta address something here because the comments are blowing up about my lamp. As people can see, the lamp is gone. It has been removed, but it is actually on. It's on the floor right next to me. It's shining. It's radiating onto my good side.
That's
so
what
I'm trying something new. I'm gonna go with the glow up. And let's see if that works.
That's the kind of adjustment Bob is hoping Dan Campbell makes. You see your errors, you move, and you go along. Good job, Jason, moving it along.
Yeah, and if this doesn't look good, I'll try from another propped up position over here. So, yeah, it's a little. The little lamp is on the floor, and it's just giving me the glow up right now. So
I'm not used to the chats. I mean, it's a lot. You guys are doing good with that.
We're not. You haven't been on in a while. Actually, you've never been on while we go live. It was just podcast for a long time.
I was in the Royal Rumble, but I guess I was thrown over the ropes immediately because my audio wasn't working. So
you were in and out, Santino Morella style.
Yeah.
So, okay, so as people are saying, how come I'm not dressed up or anything like that? And okay, I've made it pretty known that I don't like doing face paint. I hate it. It's not my thing. I got a thick old fucking beard here, and yeah. Here's the thing. Peter made this bet behind our backs, and then he just texts us and says, "Oh, hey, by the way, if we lose, we're all dressing up as Kiss." I didn't agree to any of that shit off the beginning. I would have maybe kind of with a different bet, but Peter made it, and then kind of like try to strong arm us into dressing up as Kiss. Johnny, I'm happy you took one for the team here, but
we said this before. Johnny just wants to dress up as Kiss. This is like another Wednesday or another Monday for Johnny.
He's a great painter. He's got the drums going. This is bad sports karma for you, though, HBIC. You should have just went along with it. And
that's what I was saying. One,
you guys have the White Sox season coming up. You need Justin Fields healthy for 18 games.
Hold on, I have so much stuff to talk about this after when we get that end of the shows. So.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess we might as well just double down now, right? Win total, White Sox.
Oh, White Tigers? Sox, the Tigers are. Come on, dude.
We talked about this on the podcast a year and a half ago, saying the Tigers, or maybe it was like 2 years ago, like the Tigers are up and coming, and Spencer Torkelson is going to be, the next Babe Ruth. And now it sounds like he's going to start the league or start the season in AAA.
Are we running the same bet back? Because I had the easy terms. I would have had to sing, if anyone was curious, if should the Chicago Bears have tripped over their own dick and actually won some games last year, I would have had to sing Sweet Home Chicago and dress up like the Blues Brothers, which is a hat and some sunglasses. So that was a lot easier than the feat that you guys pulled off here. So, to pay it forward, if you guys do want to do Tigers White Sox bet, I can do something. I can do something for you guys. I think that's even though it's a layup for you guys.
We gotta do. I want revenge. I want revenge.
Okay. All right. Do you have terms live? Do you know? Because we're already gonna do the kiss. So
we should probably think about this.
Let's ask the diva, because I want it to be a three. A three.
Oh yeah. There you go.
I'll bring in my podcast co-host as well, Matt Hayes.
Yes, that would be good.
On the next one.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, we're gonna talk Oscars in a little bit. Bob has a podcast talking movies and TV, specifically more movies than TV, but you do both. It's called The Analysis Podcast, and I love listening to it. So I can't recommend it enough. I've been listening to it for a long ass time. But hopefully, we lost this bet. We got the Oscars coming up. Everybody's in an Oscar pool, stuff like that. Hopefully you could help us win some money.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we want to start that, usually we talk some socks and everything. We're doing your segment first because you're Eastern time. You got to go sleepy time Bobos. So, we're going to try to get you in and out, as quick as we can here with some Oscar talk. But just want to let everyone know in the comments, we're going to be talking some White Sox news and some other nonsense stuff after we got Bob here. So.
All right.
So are you guys going to sing or?
Dude, I feel like he had already forgotten about it. I feel like the makeup was enough. Now you big mouth.
You guys out. He doesn't do the face paint, and then he pimps you guys
motherfucker. We were done with this, and now we got to sing. Come on, everybody.
Not again.
Let me some. I didn't even know the lyrics. Johnny knows the lyrics.
Detroit.
Get up, everybody. That's all you get. That's all you
All
get.
right, I'll take it.
Gotta lose your
Yeah,
mind.
I really thought you guys were gonna go like
Watch it, hey.
karaoke here.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Let's talk some Oscars.
Yeah. Let's talk some Oscars here. So, Bob, as you said before, you have the Analyst podcast. You talk movies and everything. So let's talk what you think is going to win here. We're just going to do the top 6 categories: picture, director, actor, actress, supporting, as well. So let's just start with the supporting, and we'll go.
Okay.
Up to the top here. So, there you go. Thank you, Peter, for having that up there. I'm not going to read off everyone's names here. I feel like that would just be a lot of.
He said, Jason, you're saying fuck you to the podcast listeners. Which, by the way, on a day like today where we're in full makeup, I should suggest podcast listeners, we love you. The live show is where it's at. People are in the comments. Bob Pants is
Just
play
it back on YouTube when you get a chance.
The YouTubes. Subscribe on YouTube if you're listening on Spotify
play it back
or
on
Apple.
YouTube's.
But yes, we appreciate
the audio.
it. So,
the audio is not going to do this show. The audio is not going to do this show any justice. 100%. So this is a must watch. All right, so let's start with the ladies here. Best supporting actress. I still have to catch up on some of these movies. I know the Oscars is Sunday, but I'm just going to go Angela Bassett because that's the only movie I saw and she was awesome in it. So.
Is it me or are you guys?
I'm saying Who do you think is her actress?
I loved Angela Bassett. I thought she did. I didn't think she had that in her, to be honest. And then it's maybe me not watching Angela Bassett movies all that much. But her performance in Wakanda Forever was awesome. But I feel like a lot of these, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Bob. I feel like Everything Everywhere All at Once is a powerhouse right now.
I think it's going to do really well throughout the night. We had a guy on our podcast who talked a lot about just the moving direction of just foot traffic and what gets produced. And he said, the Oscars are what the industry wishes it was, and the box office is what the industry actually is. And I think the Oscars, they're trying to give some of their big ticket awards to movies that were more popular instead of like nuanced art house dramas that people aren't really finding. And I think, if people see a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once winning awards and then they go watch it, it's going to be an enjoyable experience versus like if they go see Banshees of Inisherin and it's this kind of melodramatic pitch black comedy about mortality. It'll be like, okay, more Oscar bullshit. So I think they're trying to reward movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once more. I do think that the two actresses in the movie split votes, and I think Angela Bassett does the thing. And like Wakanda Forever, and it's Marvel. They haven't really rewarded a lot of Marvel performances in the past, or any for that matter. So I think this is the one time it's kind of it's lower hanging fruit category, and I actually do think Angela Bassett's going to win.
All right.
One for HBIC, or we'll see, but
All right, best supporting actor here. Didn't see any of these movies either.
You should see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I think I'll try to watch that one before because it seems like it's getting the most buzz.
So, anyone else seen any of these, or do you guys want me to go right into my my analysis here?
All right, so I really, really liked In Bruges, and I was expecting Banshees to be like more like In Bruges, and I get it, the actors and everything.
It's the big three. It's the director.
It is the big three, yeah,
and then the two actors.
It was like you said, a dark comedy. It's a sad boy movie, and I talk about sad boy season all the time. But yeah, I've heard really good things about The Fabelmans, but I've been stuck on White Sox podcasts all winter long, so you could see where my priorities.
I thought The Fabelmans was a big snooze, and it's Spielberg, and it's just a movie that is the time has passed it. I think Spielberg's made more effective dramas than this before. I did think Judd Hirsch as the grandfather, he has just one scene. He's in it for like 15 minutes. It's one of those kind of like drop in, steal the movie, and then get out. so I don't think he has any real chance to win this, even though he was my favorite part of that movie. I think I'm gonna mess up his name, but Everything Everywhere All at Once actor, the short round from Indiana Jones. I think this is a very like sentimental Oscars that's going to happen. So I think it's Ki Hai Kwan is going to win the supporting here. So I think this is where you start to see a lot of the Everything Everywhere momentum pick up.
All right. Okay. So same thing with me and the best actress. I mean, like, God damn, like, I don't know where the hell they get these movies. It must be like all like art house picks. I mean, or I just
Most of them
see
are.
way too. I see way too many. Watch way too many Marvel and Batman movies. So, okay, I'm just gonna go. Let's just go with Everything All at Once. Let's go with Michelle Yeoh. However you say her name. Let's give her that one.
This is a big toss-up one because it could be Michelle Yeoh. Cate Blanchett is, I think, not Meryl Streep level, but she's one of the just powerhouse actresses of her time. It's another movie that's just really tailored to showcase all of her talent. I actually think Everything Everywhere is such an ensemble movie, and Tar is a very much like we like to call it fart sniffer movies. It's a reference from South Park where they like fart in wine glasses and smell their own farts. But it's a very, very highbrow thriller type. But I do think that the Academy is going to reward Cate Blanchett again. So if you're doing Oscar pools, I think she's a safe bet. I don't think Ana de Armas really has a chance. She played Marilyn Monroe. Everyone seemed to really hate that movie. They appreciated her performance in it, but I haven't seen To Leslie yet, but that seems to be running in fifth place. So yeah, it's between Michelle Yeoh and Cate Blanchett, but I would give it to Cate Blanchett.
Alrighty. For best actor, I think I'm going to go with Brendan Fraser here, just because of all the weight he gained for that movie. I haven't seen it, but I heard he got a lot of like good positive, like feedback for that role. So I mean, I'd probably say him or Austin Butler, but I think that Brendan Fraser gets it for The Whale.
HBIC, did you like the Elvis movie?
It's on our list to watch. We're going to watch it before Sunday.
It's Baz Luhrmann, who is very hit and miss. He did Moulin Rouge. He did the Leonardo DiCaprio Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. He's just very polarizing in terms of his directing style. This movie is like schizophrenic. It's also Tom Hanks's worst performance of his life. I really didn't like the Elvis movie. And I'm even like, I think the kid who played Elvis did a fine enough job, but for me, it felt more like a glorified SNL impression than it was like a performance that had me attached to a character. I loved Colin Farrell in Banshees of Inisherin. He's who I'm pulling for. I even went as far as to say on my podcast, like if Austin Butler wins, like I'm done. Like I'm all done with what we're doing here. I really was against the Elvis movie. Brendan Fraser's interesting. I did not like The Whale. Speaking of sad boy movies, Peter, it's I think it's Aronofsky's worst movie. I think it's a really bad play that they adapted. They did their best with it, but I actually think the movie itself is poor. But two things can be true. It can be a bad movie and also a vehicle for a comeback for Brendan Fraser. And I think Brendan Fraser's really good in it. He was wearing a lot of prosthetics. That's kind of political because he did gain weight for it. But like they put a lot of kind of like prosthetics and fat suit on him. And people, there's kind of like they peak some of the drama when he's eating. They kind of make it grotesque, and people have kind of back and forth political feelings about that. So I think for me, I still think they're going to give it to Elvis. I think there's so many Elvis fans. I think the movie was popular enough. I think they're gonna give it to Austin Butler undeservingly. I think. I wish Colin Farrell would win. I really hope he pulls up an upset. But if I had to bet, which I do have to bet, I might have to pick Austin Butler. So that's where I'm at right now with it.
Okay. All right. And we got the final two here. Peter, you forgot the director here.
Yeah, I did not. Who cares?
Yeah. Everything Everywhere All at Once, the Daniels, that's who I would pick for director.
Over Spielberg, because for the You got Ruben Östlund, Todd Field, Steven Spielberg, Daniel Kwan, and Martin McDonough.
McDonough, yeah.
McDonough, yeah.
That's Banshees. I think I really do think the Daniels and their creativity, what they were able to do with the budget they had and the drama that they were able to produce from it. I definitely think the Daniels will win the two directors for everything everywhere all at once.
Okay. All right, so then let's go with Best Picture. A lot of buzz on All Quiet on the Western Front. Avatar, already is breaking records, everything. Top Gun Maverick, that's, that was a really good movie. I saw that one.
That was a really good movie. It was a really good popcorn movie. I am shocked that was nominated for Best Picture.
But again, they're trying to get people. They're trying to get
fan
eyeballs
service.
to it.
I get it. Yes, we talked about this pre-show with Jason, and he was saying like it's shocking that they had another 10 movies, and I'm like, well, yeah, they did this on purpose a couple years ago to try to get more of the popcorn flicks in there. I think it was right after Black Panther. Panther didn't get nominated for Best Picture.
Mm-hmm. I think Black Panther did, but it was more of a reaction to I think Avengers wasn't nominated, or I know that it really started to pick up momentum after Dark Knight wasn't nominated.
Yeah, Dark Knight. Yeah,
they're like, this is like the most popular movie of the last 20 years, and we're not even celebrating it at the Oscars. Like there was a disconnect between Hollywood and what they're rewarding with what the audience wanted. So that's when they started adding the 10.
So is it All Quiet on the Western Front that takes Best Picture?
No, man. I think that's probably like 8th or 9th place. I think it's going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just a couple of shout outs here. Triangle of Sadness is great. I think you guys would, if you're looking for something that's like an hour and 45 minutes. I just got back from a flight from Australia and I suggested it to my fiance. She's kind of a casual movie fan and she was really enjoying Triangle of Sadness. It's like the way I could say it, it's like Rich People meets Lord of the Flies. And there's a little bit of one of the seeds from Bridesmaids in it as well. So I really would recommend for your audience, if you're looking for something that's on this list, that's also pretty fun. That's not Top Gun. Triangle of Sadness is great. Women Talking is the Mennonites movie. That's the one that I haven't seen. Actually, it was really hard to find. Banshees I did like, but Everything Everywhere All at Once seems to be kind of this year's darling. So that's where I would put the pick.
All right, I got a couple movies to watch them before, because like
we do.
Yeah, I think I might have mentioned to you.
Triangle of Sadness is when Jerry Krause forced Phil Jackson out of here, right?
Yeah, I don't really follow much like Oscars. We do an Oscar party every year, and everyone brings like fast food dishes, and we all just pick out like on Taco Bell, White Castle, Wendy's.
Yeah, you like wear t-shirt tuxedos and stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time. But I mean, I don't really pay attention to movies except for when it's Oscar season, and I have to try to win my Oscar pool. So, granted, I always look up like the Oscar odds, and I always just place my bets on I always take chalk for all my Oscar pool.
Why not? Yeah. I mean, at that point, and I think you get yourself in trouble. It's almost like a fantasy football draft where you start like thinking you're smarter than the algorithm, and then you go off the path and you end up with a team full of duds. So it's like sometimes, Vegas, the casinos are really big for a reason. So, it's like a lot of times that'll help you as well.
Oscar pools and the NCAA tournament are 2 times where I just go chalk and hope I'm right, and a lot of times I'm wrong, but every so often it's all chalk and I'm happy.
Yeah, but I do think it's important, and that's to the sentiment you're saying, Jason. It's like they know that these awards are going to get people to probably check out like a movie or two, especially if it does well. So I think they're being more cautious about like rewarding something like Banshees of Inisherin a ton, and then people are like, oh, I got to check this out, and then they go check it out, and it's kind of a slog, And so I really liked Banshees of Inisherin, but I know that I'm also like a cynic, and I'm like a movie turd, and like I kind of wallow and have my emotional purge from time to time. So I know that a normal person is probably not going to have a great experience watching that movie. Everything Everywhere All at Once, like people will watch that and they'll be like, that was a blast, And I think Triangle of Sadness, like a couple of these, like I think you guys will watch and be like, oh, okay, that wasn't like the typical Oscar fare that I'm used to kind of wading through.
All right, well, I know, Bob, you got to go. You got to get some sleep and everything. But before you go, you want to plug all your stuff?
The Analysis, a TV and movie podcast. We interview people from the industry. We also just talk about TV's movies all the time. Last of Us, we just had a chop about, so just, different TV shows that are hot at the time as well. So, and movies, as you guys are listening to. So you can find it anywhere, any weird app that podcasts are streaming. Same places you find your BumCast there. And, Lions draft is going to be electric. Tigers will probably be a goddamn disaster. We'll see if you guys can do anything.
All right, Bob.
Maybe the
All right,
how scared are you of Justin Fields for the next 15 years?
Well, I think we did eliminate him from the season this year. He scrambled a lot. We slapped him around a little bit. I think Jason's got to watch out with all that back comedy.
Yeah, it is next year, buddy. Yeah, it is next year.
We'll talk soon, Bob. Thank you.
We'll talk soon. Take it easy, guys.
Later, Bob.
Patrick Kane for life. Champions.
That's right.
This guy, man. This guy.
Now we're back to our regularly scheduled program here.
Yeah, I don't think I mentioned it. It's kind of droopy. I'm wearing underwear on my head. I'm wearing a pair of my underwear as a wig.
Too.
Bologna is now going to be known as Captain Underpants.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
And Dougie Freshness, I'm not drinking bourbon. I'm not drinking anything. I didn't want to mess up my makeup, so I got a High Noon out of a straw.
I am drinking whiskey out of a straw right now, so
there you go, Johnny.
I ain't changing that.
I gotta admit though, you guys look pretty damn good.
I'm happy with it. It turned out all right.
That. Thank you.
We're gonna do this again for Halloween, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. You already got your costume ready.
I'll just answer SPF's question really quick. Does Peter have hockey cup on too to go with the shoulder pads? This is from when me and a couple friends started adult learn to play hockey, and that lasted all of almost 2 seasons. I did not go through with it, but they still play. Now they're playing in a men's league and stuff like that. So I dusted these off. They were sitting in the garage, and I figured this would be a good time to wear them.
Okay. Hey, you guys are bringing in the numbers tonight. What can I say? So, all right, let's talk some socks here, because the big news that came over the weekend. Yeah, that's right, Johnny. Too bad you couldn't do the whiskers though.
The mustache is in the way.
What are you talking about?
Can't get rid
real
of
whiskers. I do have real whiskers. What are you talking about?
Wheel whiskers. Okay.
Whiskers.
Anyways, guys, we have to talk. We don't want to talk about it, but we got to talk about it.
We don't want to talk about it. I guess we should. It's going to be hard to talk about this when we're dressed up as sad clowns. I'll get that out of the way right away.
Kind of ruins our street cred.
It's tough. But yeah, dude, Jason, I'll let you go first, because I don't have much thoughts about it other than the internet is going crazy one way or the other, and we're never going to find out what really happened. By him being cleared or not suspended doesn't mean nothing happened. And that's sad. The sad part about this is, there's a baby, with a separated mother and father, and people crying one way or the other. There's shades of gray, so we don't know. That's basically all I wanted to say. But yeah, the Sox were put in a tough situation. I don't blame them specifically. I blame them for signing him in the first place, knowing his history and knowing that he's a rehab project at this point. So that sucks for the White Sox. But yeah, man, it's something, you're going to have to deal with at a personal level, whether it's, I'm not telling anyone how to be a fan. He's going to pitch every 5th day. There's people saying I don't want to go to games when he pitches. That's your right. I'll probably be at some games, not because I want to go see him play, but I'm going to root for the other White Sox on the team. And we're still fans, and we're still friends with a lot of people where we sit and stuff. So it's just something that you personally have to deal with. And I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong, but there's a lot of stuff online where it's whoa, take a step back.
Yeah. I mean, you pretty much summed up what I was going to say. It's anything with this. It's basically just he said, she said. We're never going to know the exact truth or what was in that investigation. If it ever comes out, I'll be 100% shocked. just because he got cleared doesn't necessarily mean he's completely innocent. And we don't have to like the result, right? It doesn't, just because you don't like that he was found he was clear of any wrongdoing, doesn't mean you were rooting for something bad that something bad actually happened to her or the kid. Like that, those things are not mutually exclusive. Like you can be upset that he didn't get caught or they didn't find anything, and still be upset that something potentially could bad happen to her. Like it blew my mind that people were like, oh, people were just waiting, we're hoping that something bad happened to his girl and everything. And like, no one wants anything bad to happen to someone. No one. Anytime you see like stories of abuse it sucks to hear that. It's like terrible. Like you don't ever want to hear that, but you also don't want someone to get off. Don't want to get cleared of any wrongdoing. Yeah.
Right.
Now, the silver lining of this is that he's only going to be here for a year. He'll probably most likely be injured at a point, so we'll probably have him for less than 30 starts. And if he pitches bad after coming off the second surgery, like, okay, then you know what? Maybe we just bring the next man up.
Yeah, it's Davis.
I feel like he's the only reason why I think it's bad that the Sox are going to keep him is because he's still going to be a major distraction for the entire season. It's going to be the black cloud.
We saw it with the Giolito quotes where he was coming off and he already apologized for saying like, I was just coming off my performance, and he apologized. That's definitely a distraction. That's definitely a distraction in the clubhouse that you don't need.
Yeah. And 100% he is going to get booed mercilessly at the Comiskey. Like the fans are just gonna boo him relentlessly. Go ahead, Johnny.
No. What I was gonna say is like I just don't understand how we always have this cloud underneath us. Like this whole thing started with like Tony La Russa. Like this whole rebuild was supposed to be a positive direction, and then when we hired Tony La Russa, it was the whole DUI thing. Now the whole thing with Clevenger as well too. It's like the same thing. It's just like there's always a cloud just like around us the whole time, a dark cloud. Yeah, I mean, obviously the investigation came out, and obviously, they found nothing at this point. So, and you guys made good points as well too. I mean, it is what it is right now. I mean, obviously, we don't know what actually fully happened. So, obviously, people are going to be upset, and rightfully so. And other people are going to be like, well, the investigation came out, and it is what it is. They did a thorough investigation. If they're going to continue doing that, it is what it is. But I just hope it just doesn't ruin like the season. Obviously, whatever happened between them two, I hope, like I said, it's a bad situation all around. But like I said, I mean, it's like another like dark cloud underneath the White Sox right now, and it's kind of like, when is this ever going to end? For us. But like I said, it's a bad situation. What's happening between like Clevenger and obviously his. It was his ex, right? Correct. Like they were not married at all.
It was just a girlfriend, but baby mama.
I think Joey makes a good point here. I think he's going to be on a very short leash, and if you see him after like come like June-ish, and if he's got a high ERA and he's not going deep in the games, I feel like they'll cut bait sooner than. I don't think they're going to drag that on longer than they need to.
So here's something, and this is more of a moral question for you guys or anyone in the comments too. I specifically said when they signed him that I didn't like him, but that doesn't mean I'm rooting against him. I'm not rooting for him or against him, but I'm still rooting for the White Sox. If we go to a game he's pitching and he throws a no-hitter, what are we going to do? Or what as a collective are we going to do? Because my guess is people are going to root for him or people are going to cheer him. And that's something where it's tough. You see it all the time in the NFL where people get suspended for really bad things. But if you perform on the field, it seems to wash everything away. Now, me personally, I don't think he's that kind of player. I really don't think he's going to have a bounce back year. I don't think he's going to have a Johnny Cueto year where it comes out of nowhere and he helps the team and everything like that. So, but it's just an interesting question to see. Like, we're all pissed and people are in the comment or in the Twitter world, but when push comes to shove and he has a good performance, what's going to happen then?
Yeah, it's going to be mixed reactions. If, like you said, if he's going almost throwing a no hitter or something, are you really going to have you're going to have mixed emotions like cheering for it?
Because at the end of the day,
want
we all love the White Sox.
Yeah, you want the Sox to
Yeah,
win.
I
Like
mean, yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's like you can't just go against like one particular person. Obviously, the whole team, like you can't just boo every single one on that team. And obviously, yes, he has bad baggage. You know, he comes with like bad baggage, and we knew that going in when they signed him. And obviously, when the reports came after the fact that we signed him, didn't help his cause. So that's why a lot of people are upset about this whole thing and not giving him a chance and whatnot. The whole thing about the no hitter, if he does like, or if he does like really well, um, it's like I said, I'm supporting the White Sox. Other people might not, and it's their opinion if they don't want to or not. I don't support any of that stuff. Whatever happened between both of them, I don't support that. But like I said, I think if it gets in a situation where they're in a no hitter or whatnot, I mean, in all honesty, our people are going to cheer. Are you going to cheer just because it is a White Sox team? You're rooting for the White Sox, or are you going to boo this guy and just be like, oh, fuck this guy. He doesn't deserve this or anything like that. They are saying that he's going to go to all this rehab type of stuff. So,
yeah, and he volunteered.
I don't know.
For that.
It's such a tough situation.
It's
a fluid situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the stuff that he's volunteering to go. So, like, obviously there was something there where.
And Jesse Rogers made a good point. That doesn't mean this investigation is done for good. If more things come out, if there's a video that comes out, you could reopen this investigation at any time. And that's what the MLB said. And Jesse Rogers made a good point where, like, for now, let's go play baseball, and we're going to root for the White Sox. But yeah, like you mentioned, Johnny, it's a black cloud and it's a distraction because I'd rather not be talking about this.
Okay, so speaking of distractions, let's talk about the comments that Pito made over the weekend as well, or last week.
He was unhappy. It's not a surprise.
Now I was out of town, so I didn't get the chance to follow up on the whole story. But apparently, he was saying that the Sox were not a family last year, which anyone with two sets of eyes or a set of eyes can see that. Yeah, they kind of were dysfunctional. What were you guys' thoughts on what he was?
I wasn't surprised by it at all. The fact that he didn't come out, and we don't know if it was a pedo thing but that last game at home where he didn't play, the writing was on the wall, dude. He was unhappy at the end of the year. He was getting choked up in press conference or interviews at the end of the season last year. So yeah, dude, it was a shitty year. We all went through it. He was, at the foreground of it. So I wasn't surprised by it. So yeah, it sucks because he has been our leader for so many years. But people calling him a bad leader because of it now in hindsight, like we don't know what goes on in the clubhouse. If you have an opinion one way or the other on that kind of things, it's just speculation.
I just felt like it was a dysfunctional clubhouse to begin with. I mean, you got the whole TA thing that was going on as well too. I just feel like that's why we were losing so many games. The team wasn't together, and obviously you need that balance, you need that leadership, and God bless Abreu for being here for such a long time. I wish he was in the White Sox for a very long time till the end of his career, but he went to get the money at this point. He wants to win a championship, and I don't fucking blame him. But I also I don't I'm not surprised about it as well as how you said as well too, that they weren't all in sync. They were all in the same, like Tony La Russa, just everything just from beginning to end. It's just even from the management, the top management as well too. Just nobody is on the same page. Hopefully, like I said, once again, there's another dark cloud in our sights again with the whole Clevenger thing. So hopefully, everybody else in the team can turn things around. I just don't think that we're going to have the same issues as far as hitting or defense as we had last year. Everything was just like a disaster, but hopefully things are different. Elvis Andrews as well too. I'm glad that we got him because I think he was a good leader and just somebody in the clubhouse that we needed. I think that's good that we have him. Obviously, he's not the second baseman that we wanted. Obviously, there was better options out there, but at this point, I'd rather have him than having Lori Garcia as our second baseman and having that leadership as well too than anybody else. I don't know who else is going to step up other than him. It's. I hope somebody else does.
They all have to. And so that's
yeah. I mean, yeah.
This has been a pretty miserable last 10 minutes of White Sox talk. If they come out,
sorry guys,
they come out swinging. No, but winning cures all. If they come out to a hot start, they hit. Oscar Cola seems to be hitting. The power isn't there yet, but he's hitting. Elvis finds power, and everyone else that we keep talking about, Luis Robert and Eloy and TA. If they all come out hitting, we're not gonna have any more of these podcasts. We're gonna be talking about good times on the South Side. So
can't wait.
Hopefully Pedro and the guys rally.
I'm ready for
and
it.
We're ready
for
it. I'm ready for
sunshine and fucking rainbows, dude. Give me all that.
Yeah,
give me all that. Good stuff.
That's what I was saying is that I just don't think that we're gonna have the same issues that we had last year as far as like struggling or injuries or whatnot. TA is gonna have a good year again. Luis Robert, Eloy. Colas is like fucking, killing it in spring training right now. Except for that little Eloy type of like
he did a
he had a little bit
situation
of a right there. Yeah. But I just feel like we'll bounce back. We can't have like another season like we did last year. And hopefully, it takes us even further than, obviously what we had last year.
I'm ready to be happy.
Yeah.
Let's be happy. All right, so real quick, we're just gonna talk a couple minutes about AEW Revolution. We want to thank friends who came and joined us for the AEW Revolution watch party. Good times, a little hungover today, but I thought the main event with Danielson and MJF, that was an all-time classic Iron Man match, and it's up there probably with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, and I can't wait to see what next feud's going to be.
Yeah, dude. It was a great night. I mean, we had a lot of friends in attendance. Jason, thank you, and Sarah for hosting. Yeah, man. It was interesting because when we started that Iron Man match, we didn't know what to expect. And, we kind of know that MJF can go, and we've seen flashes of it in the past, but he's the whole package. And he talked about it in the post show in his interview. He can talk, he can wrestle. He's got the looks. He's got everything. He's like a 5-tool player. And I just thought it was really interesting how they teased the whole CM Punk thing again with him eating the muffin and him eating the pickles. But hats off to Danielson because Danielson can wrestle with anyone. We've known this for the last decade and a half. If Bryan Danielson is a main event of a pay-per-view, it's going to be an awesome match. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and we're going to keep it going. WrestleMania season's coming. Should be fun.
Yep. And then just keep on the fight game. John Jones comes back, and I thought that was impressive what he did. I tweeted it out. I'm not the biggest John Jones fan with all his antics and the allegations and the cocaine and all that stuff. But to have 3 years off and come back, go up a weight class, and win in 90 seconds, that was pretty damn impressive.
He came out with a dad bod, 3 years off and having to gain some weight. It's not the John Jones we're used to seeing, but once he stepped in the ring, dude, he's the best MMA fighter ever. And like you said, dude, it's crazy to think what would have happened if he didn't have all of the off the field or off the cage issues. Because once he's in there, he is lights out. And it's interesting how they kept teasing the Stipe Miocic fight. Stipe's 41 now, so he's getting up there in age. I think everyone wants to see a heavyweight fight between John Jones and Francis Ngannou, but Ngannou's not currently in the UFC. He's looking to get paid like a boxer. So Dana White's going to have an interesting issue coming up after the Stipe fight. Because that'd be a super fight. That's literally the best fight you can make is Francis Ngannou versus John Jones at heavyweight. But I'll talk about my MVP. I'm gonna talk about Alexa Grasso later.
That's what I was gonna say too. I'll bring it up.
We're gonna talk about that later.
You want to talk about her, so
I'm really pumped about it.
Yeah. All right. So you guys probably saw I was out of town for the week. The wife had a nice little work retreat, so we were in Puerto Rico in San Juan. It was a good time. Nice to get out of town, go celebrate, some warm weather and her accomplishments and everything with the rest of her company, like the top earners and everything from her company. I did a lot of rum out there. It was
rum
bum. So, and I want to bring this up because like I like rum. Obviously, when you do like rum and cokes, some like a pina colada, daiquiri, there's always good rum drinks, Mai Tais, whatever, all the tiki drinks. I went to one of the restaurants we went to. They actually had rum flights there, and I got the person from my Benny's recommended this one flight to try, and it had a few aged bourbons, like they were around rums that were around 12 years, 14 years, and even some ones that were finished. There was one that was done in a vermouth cask. There was one done in a sherry cask. And I will say, Peter, I was very surprised because a lot of those aged rums taste very much like a nice whiskey.
Yeah, I could see that, especially, if they're finished in something else. Jason, you have that Bardstown that is a Bardstown bourbon finished in plantation rum cask. Yes. They always play well with each other. So I like rum finished bourbons. I'm not a big rum guy generally, but I'd definitely try it if you got some good ones in your
no, but I did buy a bottle of Havana Club Cuban rum when I was down in Mexico a couple years ago. But that's not like really aged like some of the other ones are done in a finished cask. I am going to go look for some of the higher end rums that I actually tried down there, and maybe if I find one, I'll do a blind taste test with you and see if you can tell the difference between one of those, because it's actually
down.
Yeah, it's actually, even when I had Sarah try it, she was kind of shocked too, because she doesn't like rum at all, and she was like, "Oh, it does taste like a nice whiskey." So
I had a question about your vacation, and it wasn't more of I'm not trying to call you out because it looked awesome. We saw the pictures. I feel like everyone knew that you were on vacation. You had that post of the Michelin star restaurant that you went to.
Yes.
But that was the same day you went pukies in the bathroom. How was the Michelin star restaurant going? I know it was good going in. How was it coming out?
Not fun. It was smoky from the mezcal. I can usually drink pretty well. So I can go for like a long day of drinking. And that day, that first full day when we were doing the pool day, I started off with the Bloody Mary, and then at the pool bar I was doing double mezcals neat. And when you're in the sun, sometimes you don't really feel the alcohol effect on you. But when we went to dinner, it all came crashing downhill, because the first thing they do when we sat down is they poured you a nice glass of red, and I don't know what it was, but it poured a nice little glass of red wine. So I drank that, and I was like, then I started looking at the cocktail menu, and I've never had Michelin star cocktails before, and I was damned that I was going to try as many as I could. Now, granted, this was all self-inflicted because
you were like the fat kid in the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You saw everything, and you wanted everything.
Oh gosh!
Because I didn't have
Augustus Gloop.
All the food was and drink was covered by the company, so it was vodka, mezcal, red wine, rum, whiskey, tequila.
Damn.
Bourbon. Like I did the glass of wine and 4 different cocktails at dinner, and the plan was to go to another cocktail bar in Old San Juan, and I get out of the restaurant and I'm ready to go, and Sarah sees I'm kind of swaying, and she's like, "No, you're getting on the bus." And I'm like, "No, I'm good, and she, goddamn, she knew right then and there, man, like that, because I didn't feel.
She knows you well.
Yeah, because I've been worse drunk. I've been to the point where you're seeing double, like, you're slurring your speech like this. I was swaying a bit. And I didn't feel super drunk. I didn't feel nauseous or anything like oh fuck. But no, she just had, I guess she saw my eyes like I was not in a good shape, and came back, fell face first right in the bed. Then I don't know how long it was. I got up and all the Michelin star came back up.
We were in constant communication that day because you were sharing pictures, and then you were in the 108 comments for their podcast, and I'm like, how is this guy still alive? And then that's when you text me, I'm like, oh, I already puked. And I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
Well, so first thing is like San Juan is 2 hours ahead of us.
Right.
So when like the 108 guys are starting at 8:00, I was already done at that, because they did like early dinners for that. Like we actually had to leave. Our dinner reservations were at 6 p.m. for that tasting course, because like I said, it was 10 courses, an entree plus dessert. It was like, I couldn't even remember, but it might have been like 14 courses total. I'll have to show you all the pictures later. But after I threw up, I felt great, and I had a beer afterwards too. So I went down and grabbed some pork sliders from the bar. I'm like, I just had a Michelin star tasting course, and I go down to the pool bar and I get a thing of sliders, French fries, and a medalla, however they say it down there.
Medalla.
Yeah. And I drank some more and watched the 108.
There you go. That was a hell of a day. Hell of a day.
Yeah. I don't blame you. If that was everything was on the house, I probably would have done the same thing too.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm not going anywhere now. Like, let's fire up the live chat. And I mean, granted, I didn't feel like 100%, but after I got it all out, I was like, I had a beer in me because at that point, after I puked, I was like awake from my hangover, and that's like the worst.
That's the worst.
That's the worst.
We've been to some baseball games where you're awake for your hangover, and it's either you have to go to sleep or you start drinking again. And
that's why I grabbed that.
Same day.
Yeah, I grabbed that beer right away, man, because I was like, I'm not making it tonight if I don't have another take the edge off. So, it was. Other than that, it was a very, very good trip. I can't recommend San Juan enough. They got this really cool area now called like the T-Mobile District, and it's basically like Rosemont, like the Rosemont dining area. Like,
dude, I feel like every city has one of those nowadays. Yeah, I know St. Louis has that in like the around the Cardinals area, where we've seen a UFC fight around there. And dude, the Rosemont. There's none in actual Chicago, but that Rosemont Center area is pretty cool.
Yeah, so they have one of those. But the thing that blew my mind was they have like this indoor like arcade game room, and I Instagrammed it. They have like this treetop obstacle course that you can like you take a harness up and you're hooked to the ceiling, and then you have to like crawl like steps and
you're like, we got to get the bums to do this. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is like most extreme elimination challenge. Don't get eliminated. I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, but you're tied up, so it's not like even if you fall, like you're not gonna you'll be fine. But it looks so cool. I was like, oh man, indoor obstacle course. They had virtual reality like headsets. Like this place was like, man, I wish we had something like that in Chicago, because I'd be down with some of those games, man.
Our guy Berto says, I've been asleep at the game before the game even began. That was the Lurie game, the Lurie home run game, the playoff game against the Astros. He was weekend at Bernie's before the game even started. Shame on you.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so it was a good trip. We came back Saturday, and then I'll just transition to our next segment, because I remembered, we got alerted that Chris Rock was doing a live stand-up special, and I guess it was pretty polarizing on Twitter. I'm a Chris Rock guy, but some people hated some of his takes. I thought the stuff on Will Smith though was hysterical.
Yeah, so we're not going to spoil it because it just came out.
Yeah,
but I know you both were tweeting and watching live. And I was watching the Fire game, very, on brand. But I watched it right after. So you said you liked it.
I did like it. A couple of the things were kind of like cringe.
I didn't think it was good. I honestly, the Will Smith stuff at the end, and that's not a spoiler because it's been everywhere by now. But the first, 40 minutes, I think he lost his fastball. And I'm a Rock guy too. I like Chris Rock, but him talking, about, I don't know. It just like it fell flat to me. Johnny, did you liked it?
Um, I'm gonna go with Jason as well too. I felt there's some parts that were a little cringe that I didn't think he was gonna go there, but I think for the most part the reason why I was watching it as well too is pretty much everybody as well too is I was waiting for him to just to go off on Will Smith. I didn't know he was
Yeah,
gonna go off
and
of
he did.
Jada as well. Yeah, I didn't know he was gonna do Jada as well too, but he did. He went that far,
And he teased
and
it too a couple times during
yeah,
the.
yeah. At that point when he was doing a stand up, I mean, he was just going off like, "Hey, I don't want to get another rapper going like slapping me as well too, or coming after me," and it just felt like it was the buildup was there. So when he finally just said, I'm gonna go off," and I did, he did, and kudos to him as well too, because he held that for a year. Like wasn't really talking about that as anywhere, social media, whatever. He held that emotion for a long time, and he didn't do anything. Like he could have retaliated as well too, but he didn't. He said what the reason why he didn't do what he did. Like I said, no spoilers, but um kudos to him on that part. What I'm saying, like he went up there,
He
the
held.
reason, yeah, he held back for a reason.
Yeah.
And but he said what he wanted to say, and you know what? We are in the United States of America. He has every right to say what he wanted to say on his side of the story, and he did. He told his story as to why he didn't retaliate, as to why he waited so long. And obviously, I don't know what the numbers were on Netflix of how many millions and millions of people watch it, but I'm sure it was like insane.
So that was my big takeaway is this was the first live Netflix special. They have to have more of these.
Yeah.
Once a month, have these. I know you guys were watching. Herb Lawrence was watching. A bunch of people I followed were tweeting about it live. And I was like, if Netflix keeps doing this, make them an event. That'd be cool because we don't see many live stand-up specials nowadays.
I will
Everything's
say, though,
pre-taped and things.
get rid of the pre and post show though. That was fucking terrible.
Well, I didn't get to watch that, so that was good.
Jason, I saw that too, and some of the stuff that they were like talking about just felt like the other person wasn't comfortable not to like bring anything up about it, and just I don't know. I didn't see the pre-show, so I can't speak for that.
It was bad.
Post-show
It was yeah. They did no more pre and post shows for comedy specials. Like not bueno. No bueno. So yeah, no spoil. Okay. Just go check it out and see what you think.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. I mean, I didn't hate it that much. I just didn't think it was as good as his, last 5 specials or his early stuff, obviously.
All right. We got a couple of things before we wrap up here. Peter, you want to hit us with the question you thought of?
So, I mean, yes, we have. I mean, look at us. I'm in hockey gear. I have underwear on my head. Johnny, you look like a sad clown, like Mailman Jack said. So my question is, what is the stupidest thing you've done on a dare or a bet? Whether, it's truth or dare or, betting someone something or anything like that. Because I think this might be my answer. I mean, it's pretty goddamn ridiculous.
I'm the same too. Like I've never had anybody who dared me to do something, like I pretty much like went through with it. So, yeah, I'm gonna say this. Like obviously we're live, we're talking in front of people. Obviously we know as well too. So, but there's might be some people that we don't know that are watching as well too, or we're gonna be watching or watching on social media as well too, or don't know that we would ever do something like this as well too. So, yeah, this is probably the most extreme I've ever done something like this. But you know what? I don't give a fuck because I love fucking Kiss. So rock on.
I'll be a little bit of a wet blanket still, and I'll say like I don't really bet anything that has to do with me like doing something embarrassing because I just do embarrassing. I just do embarrassing shit on my own, dude. Like I just do it for most of the time if someone's betting me, I'm gonna be like, no, like you don't get to tell me what I have to embarrass myself. I'm gonna tell myself what I'm gonna embarrass myself with. You're talking to a guy who fucking went out as Halloween as Bruno one day. Or 1 year.
Bruno was good. We have pictures of you as what is it, Lieutenant Dangle?
Yeah, from Dangle, and a guy who won multiple Halloweens in a giant sperm costume. So
that was like 3 years running too.
oh yeah,
But yeah,
I mean
you
the
do.
super,
You don't have to
the
put
super
that.
sperm
but
costume.
but the thing was is that wasn't a dare. That was just you.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'll just do that
Yeah.
shit to just embarrass myself and
Yeah.
get the yucks and everything. Like, I don't need
Oh
anyone
my
to like
god!
bet me.
No, this is a good dare. Chugging an entire bottle of hot sauce at Huck Finn. So this was after Bourbon Street. It was like probably 2, 3 in the morning, and we were at Huck Finn, and I was like, "I'll pay for everyone's breakfast if you chug a bottle of hot sauce," and he did, and obviously immediately puked it up. But his eyes were like a red I have never ever seen before. It was almost like the episode 3 of Star Wars where Anakin ends up turning into Darth Vader, and he's in the lava, and his eyes are just glowing red. That was Berto.
You know, he was the original that guy on YouTube, the superhuman who does all the fuck this
Yeah,
shit.
superhuman.
I mean,
Oh,
he
yeah,
always
yeah.
like chugs like the hot sauce before. Like Jose was the original
All the
superhuman.
gigolos and
Yeah.
gigolettes.
But yeah, now that we're in it, I mean,
Don't
we're
try
in
this at
it.
home. Whoop whoop.
Missy saying do this more often. Tata's encouraging us to fight a middleweight like we talked about. Maybe we're gonna have to do that for content if the price is right. But yeah, we're gonna be doing more of this. I'm kicking field goals. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little tourney time. We got a little tourney talk because the big news, our boy Bologna, he's number 1 seed in the 108 tournament. Congratulations.
No pressure, huh? I feel
Yeah,
like
and you know what? I'm not gonna bum you, but we had some L's lately. You know, with you took the first loss. Shout out Zombie Jackie for winning the comic move or the comedy villain draft. We lost a bet here. Like we've been taking some L's lately. We need you to come back and win it and weight loss.
that all sports scene weaponized their social. I had no chance. You were on vacation. They have like 15 people. I text you and I was like, we just got to start getting more bums. We need a bum army. I had no chance. I had no chance in that. I thought I did it. I held myself fairly well. For Yumpers in the comments, he was talking. He's got a movie podcast. I beat him in the vote. What's up now, Yump?
Yeah, it's true. But you know, like at least we're not over, right?
We're not over.
We're not over in the draft.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, we're not overs, but we had some losses. You're not going to win 108. You ran with it or the 108 weight loss. You were in the lead for a while, but Dougie Fresh is just a fucking force.
He's an animal. We talked about him. I love Dougie. I'll talk about him later too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dougie's also a 1 seed. So congrats to him. Congrats to Billy Wires and everyone else that is a 1 seed. But yeah, there's pressure on. There's pressure.
Yeah.
There's definitely pressure.
We gotta get a bounce back, man. We've had 3 L's in a row. We gotta fucking bounce back now. We gotta take this tournament. We gotta
do work.
I don't care if I have to like bribe people with like pours of the good bourbon, man. Like we gotta get Peter through.
I'm gonna be doing stunts. I already have some things planned for like the days that I'm in the tournament. I have some content planned. We've obviously teased the field goal kick for a long time, but there's more things coming. But yeah, man, you guys see bourbon? You guys want to come over and try some? Do you guys want to vote for me? Anything's on the table right now.
Yes. So let's get back on our winning ways. And then the other tourney is we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Our announced we're going to be doing the tournament of bums. So Peter went through all of our 2022 bums of the week, and we picked our top 16. Yep, and we power ranked them, so 1 through 16. And then we're going to be doing this going forward. So next week we're going to do the bracket reveal because we're going to coincide the tournament with the field for March Madness.
Yeah, and so last year we did it on Google Forms. I think I'm going to do that again. It was so much easier to send out the link and you just vote on Google Forms. We'll have the 16 seeds for the Johnny region, the Jason region, my region, and then our guests that have been on the show that bum people. So there's 16 of those as well. And at the end of the tournament, we're going to crown a bum of the year, basically.
Yeah. I will say, though, that I do like the Google Forms because you can do all of the votes in one swoop. I think we still have to do Twitter polls. We've been getting a lot more traction with the Twitter polls lately. So I think that's definitely a must as well. And we'll just consolidate the votes and make it easier as we go along.
I ain't doing math.
Yeah, I can do math. I got time. All So yeah, we'll bracket reveal next weekend. It'll be the HBIC region, the Bologna region, the Southside Bum region, and the guest region. And you guys get to vote who is the bum of the year.
I have an idea of who's gonna win the tournament, but you never know.
You never know. It could be some.
We've
upsets.
bummed a lot of people.
We did bum a lot of people. Speaking of bumming people, it's time to take it home.
Damn it! I was not ready. I was reading the comments.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum. A bum.
A bum. SPF with the good idea. The Ken W sucks.
I've never met him. I've never interacted with him. He doesn't follow me. I have no. I mean, yeah, his takes are kind of out there. Seems like he's playing a bit, but yeah, I don't know.
All right. I am going to start us off this week. My MVP is actually Giannis from the Bucks. I don't know if you saw this video.
Interesting.
Yes. I'm going to show you this video here with the audio as well.
Finished 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. And that'll do it. Oh, he got it. Does that count? It's got it, right? Shot attempt.
Davis style. Ricky Davis style.
The bench told him. Giannis has his triple-double. His 10th rebound in the final few seconds. His 4th triple-double of the season.
I love that. He was 1 rebound shy and he's just like, fuck it.
Now, pad those stats.
Now, he's my MVP for doing that shit. But then my bum is the NBA for rescinding that today. They said a message out that they're rescinding that rebound because the player has to actively be trying to score. I didn't even know that was a thing where you have to actively try to score, but I mean, like, that was just fucking funny. He's like, fuck it, I'm getting my triple double. And what's the big deal? Why is the NBA gotta be like,
yeah, what if there's what if it's in his contract that a certain number of triple doubles triggers something?
Yeah, that didn't affect the outcome of the game or anything like that. Just give him the fucking rebound. Let him get his triple double. Who gives a shit? But NBA is they're fucking weird sometimes with they've been weird a lot lately with some of their
Adam Silver, huh?
Yeah, he's not good, man. He might
be the Moses Malone rule.
But yeah, shout out to Giannis for actually trying to do that. My other MVP, or I should say, sorry, my other bum is again the White Sox stadium. I don't know if you guys saw this today. They're doing this might actually be a good thing. It could be a go either way. They're actually adding new food in the 500 level that you can only get up there. Texas State Fair food.
Okay.
Now it's going to be announced on the 22nd of March of what the actual dishes are, but Brooks Boyer has actually been hyping it up that it's like a meal you can just eat and you'll be fine and you don't have to eat anything else. But do you guys think that the tables are turned now where we have to go up to a different floor just to get
No,
Nah,
that
throw
sounds
him a bone.
that sounds like carnival food. That what he's saying right now.
Yeah, throw him a bone. We've talked about not being in the 500 for the last decade or so. They can't even come downstairs to get the good food. At least they're getting something. That's fine. Good for them.
I mean, it could
be.
I think it could go either way. You could bum it for putting some good stuff in the 500. You could say that's good for them. They give them something, since they can't come down most of the time. I personally probably won't be making the trek up there.
Yeah, I'm not going up there.
No, I don't want to walk up that ramp, man. Shit. Up inclines me and inclines do not do well together.
Yeah,
never going up there. All right, Johnny, what do you got?
Well,
Julie hates the churros. Sorry, Johnny.
No, it's okay. I've been waiting for this. So the MVP, I'm gonna go MVP first. So I'm gonna say Jason, Sarah, thank you once again hosting for the AW
You're
events.
welcome. You're welcome, friend.
A lot of people showed up. It was great. All the wrestling, obviously all the wrestling fans that we have on White Sox Twitter. It was a good turnout. Obviously Dougie as well too, man. He just killed it. You guys, appetizers, food, everybody in general. It was just a great time. So once again, I appreciate you guys hosting. My what a bum is Jason is actually you. And the reason why I'm going to say this, is that you brought something up We were talking, and I'm glad we brought up the whole thing about Jackie and all that. And, it's getting drafty pod, and obviously Peter lost. You came up to me and you told me, sorry, Peter, you gave up to me and you told me that I didn't vote. I voted for Jackie because I thought she had the best like lineup out of all of them. Sorry, Peter. You had a lot of stuff that you were saying afterwards that I wish you would have put on there. I probably would have changed my vote, but Jackie had the best one out of all of them.
So now
But
I'm gonna bum you.
Wait, hold on. It's what Jason said to me was that the one thing, and I'm glad that you and me are wearing this makeup, because Jason said, how come you did not vote for Peter? I thought we were a team.
Hell yeah.
Touche.
Peter,
Touche.
you're wearing makeup. I'm wearing
calling
makeup.
the kettle black.
Where's the team?
You know what?
Where's the team
You know what?
effort on your part?
I gotta own that one, man. I gotta own that one.
Man. I love you. I love you to death. But I mean, you said, and I wasn't gonna bum you. I wasn't. But when you said that, I'm like, okay, and it is what it is. I'm sorry, but like
you know
I said,
what? I probably should have chosen my words more wisely, knowing that I wasn't wearing the Kiss makeup. But yeah, I got nothing for that one. I gotta take the L on that one.
Bum fights. We're bringing back the
no.
I'm
not we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Hell yeah.
So, no. Again, Jason, Sarah, thank you once again for hosting.
No, you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, Peter, go ahead. Take us home.
MVB, real quick, not a surprise. I'm going to talk more soccer because the Fire had their home opener. They stink. They tied 1-1. It is what it is. But I keep talking. Last week, my MVP was the MLS and their attendance figures. Now, we all know the Blackhawks traded Patrick Kane, and they've been on a downward spiral for a while now. The Fire, and I get it, it's Soldier Field compared to United Center. It's kind of apples and oranges. The Fire outdrew the Blackhawks the same day at the same time, which is saying something, like I keep saying, that soccer is kind of here to stay. I was happy with the Fire. It was a cold day. It was outside. The game started at 7:30. There are almost 20,000 people in attendance, 19,600 people in attendance. I feel like once the weather warms up, there's going to be more people there. They just need to get some more players because they low-key stink. But I'm happy with the turnout at Soldier Field for Fire fans. So shout out to them. They're my MVBs. My bums of the week is, I hate to do it to, it's not any of you, but I feel like now I'm bumming our listeners, or it's our followers on Twitter. I put out that tweet yesterday, and I said, Mexican hot sauce, pick one. Cholula, Tapatio, Valentina, or other, post in comments. We had 200 votes, final results. Cholula, almost 50% winner. That's outrageous. I've always been a Valentina guy. I'm always going to be a Valentina guy. The Black Cap Valentina, that extra hot one, is the way to go. I could not believe that there's so much love for Cholula. Cholula is only good on eggs. That's all I ever use it for. Shame on you guys. What is this? Bum you now. I'm bumming you. Interrupting my hot sauce rant. The fuck? You're gonna be posting.
We want to talk about hot sauce, man. That's hot sauce right there.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fucking hot.
Man.
That's fucking hot sauce, dude.
Oh, go
That's the
paint your
extra
face.
fucking spicy hot sauce right there.
So yeah, I just can't believe there's so many people that like Cholula. No good.
All right. And we got special guests next week.
We do. I don't have the graphic ready, but we have a special guest.
It's gonna be Missy. Southside Behavior.
Southside Behavior. We're gonna talk White Sox. We're gonna talk tailgating, darties, and she's coming with a very special segment she's excited about. It's Twitter Unhinged. So you've been acting kind of fucked up on Twitter. You might get called out. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what all that is. It's going to be a fun show.
And I feel like there'll probably be some old man versus Gen Z clashes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we might just let you and her talk and argue about your old ass versus the younger generation.
Yeah. So Missy will be on next week, and then we'll have Fitzmagic
at the end of the year.
end of the month. So yeah. So that's our show for today. we thank you for joining us once again. And special shout out to my co-host, Bologna and Southside Bum, for actually taking the time to do the makeup. I don't know how long it's going to take you guys to take it off now.
My glasses
Yeah,
are
it's
fucked.
gonna
I'll
take
take,
like
I'll
two-
take this underwear off. I know.
It's gonna take
it's
like
gonna be a
it's gonna take like 2 hours to get off. So
it's gonna be a murder scene.
Peter, honestly,
in
you
the
could pull off
Julie,
you could pull off Demolition right now if you wanted to.
No, well, Julie's gonna have to hose me down in the backyard like Pulp Fiction style. She might not let me upstairs. So
she's gonna be the
that's
wolf.
gonna be a problem.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Guys, that's our show.
Talk soon.
Catch you next week.